What has become of this city? There used to be laws, justice, not anymore. Crime is out of control, cats are missing, and townspeople are being victimized.
Oh, hey! Who pooped on my porch?
What's going on with you? Whoa! Whoa!
We were supposed to protect those who couldn't protect themselves.
Get off my car, you little pecker!
Now superheroes are torn apart by political differences. We are two sides at war.
If you're easily offended, turn this video off. It's South Park, the fractured butthole. Enjoy. Or turn the video off. You have been warned.
Perhaps I can change what has happened to all of us.
I have only ever seen 3 episodes of South Park. That may have been a mistake. At the beginning of this game, the boys are actually still playing Stick of Truth. Cartman, or the Coon, shows up in his superhero guise and insists you switch to playing superheroes. See, Cartman thinks that if you can claim the $100 reward for a particular cat that's gone missing, their superhero franchise will be bigger than Freedom Pals. That's about as simple as things get. Things get batshit insane very fast.
We have to act fast before the Freedom Pals can. $100 reward. Do you know what that could mean to our superhero franchise?
That cat looks pretty old. Maybe it just died in the gutter somewhere.
Humankind, do I have to remind you that as of right now, Freedom Pals have 100 followers on Instagram? We have 6. The 5 of us and Billy Turner, who's a ginger. This is the key to finally beating those fuckers.
So the first thing you have to do in this game is create a character. Character creation system is ironically deeper than it is in Destiny 2. Once you've built the look of your character, you also have to set their skin tone, which also affects the difficulty setting. That is fucking brilliant. I'm not going to point out every time there's a bit of social satire in this game. We'll be here all day. Why do I not watch this show? You also have to create a class, or at least pick one. You get a choice between Brutalist, Speedster, or Blaster. Each one is basically the equivalent of Warrior, Rogue, and Mage. At the beginning of the game there are only 3 classes you can pick from, but by the end of the game there'll be 10 classes, and you can change classes at any time by going back to the Coon in the Coon Lair. In fact, you can change almost any aspect of your character after the fact, except for your religion and your kryptonite, which is your weakness. For some reason those conversations are had at specific times, and as far as I know they only happen once. Everything else is totally flexible. Even when you're near the end game like I did, I switched out to an assassin class.
I put down 3 of the 9 comics I was reading just to watch them. Congrats, super friends!
You can even change your gender. Speaking of which, the talk.
Okay. You're a girl? Okay, we were all under the impression that, can you just hang on a minute? I need you to call your parents, okay? Just take a second. Hello, this is Mr. Mackey, the school counselor. Yes, hi, I have your child here in my office, and well, your child has just let me know that, she's actually a girl? Oh, you knew that? Okay. Well, no, of course, it's fine. It's just, I believe everyone was under the impression that, he was a boy. I mean, she was a boy. Okay, so the whole King and Stick of Truth thing was actually a girl the entire time. Okay.
Cisgender. I didn't even know what that meant. This game actually taught me something. Why do I not watch this show? The game is primarily an open world side scroller. You can move forwards and backwards into the background, but mainly you'll be walking left to right. South Park appears to only have 3 main streets. You'll be mainly doing one of 2 things, exploring and fighting. Exploring is fine. Objects you can raid for items are tinted with yellow highlights, making them very easy to see. There are also simple environmental puzzles to solve. Some objects will simply be beyond your reach until you overcome the obstacle, where you'll have to combine your fart power with the power of another character.
Well, alright, but be careful with him. Whoopee! Boy, howdy, new kid. Well, your butt can do all kinds of cool stuff.
As for the fighting, combat is played on a grid-based system. Each class gets 3 powers to use in battle and an ultimate ability. Each power can hit different areas of the grid, or deal different damage, inflict different status effects on the enemy. There's a whole range of different tricks you can use.
Hey, I'm paying you guys good money and I want to see results. Now, my lovelies.
Fucking chaos minion!
Why would you side with such weaklings, Toolshed? Yeah? Why, Stan?
Screw you, chaos!
You've merely removed a grain of sand from the hourglass that is your doom. I can't watch. Don't let these super wieners intimidate you. Gee whiz, guys, that was really mean.
Pressing the X button with the correct timing during your character's attack causes it to inflict critical damage. It also regenerates part of the character's health when you get hit and helps build the ultimate gauge at the same time. Combat starts easy and gets harder. I mean, I guess that's a given, but what I mean is that combat starts off easy enough for you to just punch the enemy into oblivion with no real thought. Once you get to about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the game, if you're not thinking tactically by that point, you will get knocked out repeatedly. You'll have to start constructing and using consumable items. You'll start having to decide when to deploy your powers properly, deciding whether to push the enemy back or just deal raw damage.
So, you think you kinda outsmart a shitty ninjas? Oh, don't think you can run from a shitty ninja. You see, shitty ninja always have a backup plan.
There's a whole bunch of collectibles in this game as well. There's character sheets, member berries.
Remember Capri Sun? Oh, those were the greatest. I remember.
Oh, I remember.
Remember Toucan Sam?
Sure, I remember him. He was fantastic.
Yowie pictures of Tweak and Craig.
Here I go.
Nice teamwork, Super Pal.
Seriously, why do I not watch this show? People are technically collectibles as well in this game. You can take selfies with a large number of the people on the street. When you take a selfie with them, you earn them as a follower. Some people won't selfie with you until you've either done them a favour, bought something off of them, or earned enough other followers first, i.e. until you're popular enough. As far as I'm aware, followers don't affect the gameplay. I don't think so anyway. There is one epic artifact which increases all of your team members' health levels depending on how many followers you have. But apart from that, I don't think it affects anything. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about those artifacts. Random items are scattered all throughout South Park and can be slotted onto your character's, well, artifact slots. You earn one every time you level up. Each artifact boosts your basic might, but also boosts your various stats and your team-based stats as well. There's also a single slot you'll get for a DNA strand. DNA strands can massively amp up certain abilities, but usually come with a penalty to one of your other abilities as well, so choose wisely. There's also a toilet minigame. There's a mini-game at the bank.
Round she goes, where she stops only a random number generator knows. And bingo! Credit default swaps. Soybean futures. Oh yeah, use that bonus. Oh, we struck gold! Gold for cash bonus turns bankruptcy spots to gold.
I quite like that one. And combat encounters, or at least in missions, are kept fresh by environmental hazards, or massive attacks launched by a boss. All these kind of things hit certain squares on the ground and force you to stay on the move. It's surprising how much it varies up combat, especially later on when it starts to get a bit old. Something I noticed about a couple of the characters, there's a character called Jimmy who plays Fast Pass. Jimmy happens to be on crutches, and yet he plays Fast Pass, a speedster. And then there's Timmy, who plays Professor Timmy. And I'm pretty sure that Timmy has some form of maybe brain damage. I'm not entirely sure, I'm not familiar with the show. But he plays a Professor X type character, and he uses mind control abilities to take control of your team members in battle. He's also a bugger to fight because of that. It's fucking genius the way that they've taken the character's weaknesses and turned them into superpowers. I love it. You can even go up north to Canada. Sort of.
Hey, buddy! You made it to Canada! Congratulations! You can't come in! It's so great back here! Everything's so sweet and nice! Too bad you're not allowed! Hey, buddy! There's a guy out here that wants to get inside the wall. Should I let him in?
No, he can't come back here. It's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, I know, I told him. It's super cool back there.
Did you tell him how cool it is back here?
Yeah, I said it's super cool.
Tell him how it's way more awesome in here than it is out there.
You hear that, buddy? It's so awesome in here, you're really missing out.
He's really missing out.
Yeah, I know, I just said he's missing out.
Oh, you said that already?
Yeah, I said that, guy.
Oh, good. Carry on, buddy.
You too, bud.
How many episodes of South Park would I have to watch before I'm completely caught up? Are you shitting me?
Oh yeah, that is twice we kicked your asses! You guys are nothing without the new kid, and you know it! New kid, my offer stands. I still owe you one. And if you ever want to be part of a real franchise, just call me. Yeah, right! You guys are DC Comics, we're Marvel! Fucking asshole, you guys have Zack Snyder direct your fucking movies.
Now, this game only took me 23 hours to beat. And when I say beat, I mean I almost completely completed it. There are some collectibles that I didn't get first time through, and I don't know if I got all the selfies. I definitely missed some of the member berries. This game was 50 quid when I bought it, but it includes a download code for the original Stick of Truth. so you're actually paying 50 quid for 2 games. So, if we call this game 25 quid, 23 hours to complete, I'm not complaining. I've had far less time out of a game. There are only 2 black marks I can level against this game. Number 1, there is a season pass, fuck, for 25 quid. And it includes the already released Relics of Sauron. It's a collection of costumes and relics. There are 3 additional story missions coming later on in the year, and they haven't been released yet. But for 25 quid, I'm looking at this content and yeah, maybe it might be worth it. I mean, obviously you'd have to know the quality of the missions first. Number 2, Uplay. Does anybody actually like Uplay? I don't even know what Uplay points are for. I genuinely thought it was a joke on the part of the creators. I saw in the costume section that there were 2 bonus costumes if you sign up to Uplay. I thought it was a gag. It's not. Ubisoft make this game. Despite those couple of minor things in my opinion, I really enjoyed my time with this game. I did, and I'm not even a South Park fan. I've seen 3 episodes, decided it wasn't for me. I should have stayed with it.
I love to play my flugelhorn goes. I love to play my flugelhorn goes. When I am sad, I love to hear my flugelhorn go. It cheers me up.
It's disgusting!
And it makes me smile.
I mean, there's now 21 series. I'll never be able to catch up. But I did have a blast with this game, and I would really like to try the Stick of Truth next. I've heard that there are some issues with it, and this game, if what I've heard is correct, actually irons out some of those issues. The characters during their battle turns don't constantly pester you to do something. You have to wait for ages for them to say something. The combat is simple, but there's a surprising depth to it. And the game world, again, it's mainly a collectathon, but I'm a completionist. I love that kind of thing anyway. And the sense of humour, yeah, it is crude. Not my kind of thing usually, but it didn't actually put me off. I actually found this to be quite a funny game. I'm going to go ahead and give South Park: The Fractured But Whole an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a great game. I wouldn't mind playing it again. I did start off playing through with a higher difficulty setting by turning up that racial difficulty slider. I didn't notice anything change because it doesn't affect combat, it only affects everything else. But as I say, the world is mainly a collectathon, and all the items seem to be in the same place, conversations are the same, selfies are no harder to take. I'm not quite sure what the racial difficulty slider does. If anyone happens to know, let me know in the comments. So that was South Park: The Fractured But Whole, 8 out of 10. Wasn't sure what I was getting myself into with my lack of experience with South Park, but I would definitely recommend this game. I don't know what a fan would make of this game, obviously, but your average gamer, as long as you've got a good sense of humour and you're not easily offended, you'll be fine with this game. I think you'll like it. It is a bit on the short side, but as I say, you're getting a digital download code for the Stick of Truth as well. Like 2 games for 50 quid. It's pretty hard to argue against that. I wouldn't mind playing more of it. I wouldn't mind seeing the show after this game, in all honesty. But 21 seasons, I'll never be able to do it. Almost 300 episodes. I just don't have the time. Anyway, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, can definitely recommend it. See you next time.